Hi there. Thanks for joining us today. Again, I'm Stephen Oliver. You've probably seen a lot of the materials already. My background a little bit is I got a degree in economics and an MBA, and really the main thing is I've spent the last 37 years working with small business owners, financial advisors, wealth managers, as well as a range of others, everything from martial arts schools to legal firms, in helping them develop their client relations, their sales, their marketing approaches, their conversion processes, and their ongoing client support. Introduce also Greg Moody. Greg, tell me a little bit about your background. I'll leave that to you.
Okay, well, I started out as an engineer working in large corporations, and then I started working my master's degrees in psychology, my PhDs in education, because all during that time, after I stopped doing engineering, I've been working in businesses for myself, multiple businesses. And then I started working with other businesses, kind of in parallel with the same thing you've been doing. And then we kind of got together and been working together for, I think, about 10, 11 years, about a decade now, to work together. Well, yeah, we've known each other for way more than a decade, working with businesses, and all this background in terms of research and science helps me work with the other businesses that we're trying to help do exactly what you said. Not just kind of just do marketing, not just do sales, not just do one little piece, but really everything that they need to do for their business to grow and double and triple and quadruple. So that's what I've been doing. And it's kind of comes from that background of even starting in big corporations to working directly with people one-on-one in psychology and education. So that's kind of where I come from.
Yeah, and on the marketing side, it might be fair to say that, I wrote a book on internet marketing for similar businesses back in 1999, back when it was Alta Vista and GoTo and then Overture and then Yahoo, before Google was a force. And so we've both been at the front leading edge of social media marketing, of search marketing, of pay-per-click marketing. And you've been really at that leading edge again, helping develop software systems, websites, and in that level of marketing. And then we have Mindy Godfrey. And Mindy, you're a related background here. You've got a master's in divinity, which people would say, what the hell does that have to do with anything? From Vanderbilt, which is a very, very, very good school in Nashville. But your background really, as it's related to this, is you have extensive background working with authors, working with publishing, developing people from a standpoint of credibility and so forth in that neck of the woods. Then an extremely extensive background on live event promotion, everything from 20 people in a room to what's the biggest event that you've helped to run?
Just over 40,000.
40,000, yeah. So extensive with small live events, everything from the luncheon meeting and a dinner meeting to mass events and the marketing, promotions, operations, facilitating every step of the way. Expand on that a little bit, Mindy. Give them a little bit more of your background.
Sure, absolutely. A lot of it has been working, with the authors. How are you going to build your platform and your personality so that you're really able to build connection with your audience? And that's really been the focus there. And then similarly with live events, you're really focusing on building that audience and gathering this people who are like-minded and want to come together and be together in real time, and growing those events out. And then with both, maintaining ongoing communications with those audience so that they stay engaged with you as you build either your event or your publishing career, your speaking career, and really building those things out so that you have an ongoing fan base to always stay in touch with and in front of, who want to follow you and follow what you're doing.
Yeah. And to translate for wealth managers, financial advisors, is it's so important for you to create yourself as a personality and not just be the guy sitting behind an oak desk in a J.C. Penney suit and be the same as everybody else. And so having a book, having a series of books to become the expert, having a speaking platform, having live events that are facilitated around you, or live events as referral and networking events. Those are all things that we work on, and different people are going to excel in different ways. And then let me introduce Bob Dunn also. Bob, you and I have been working together for what, 16 years now, or some ridiculous amount of time. And Bob, you have personally worked with, I'm going to take a stab at, say, 1,500 different small businesses over that period of time, perhaps more, and coaching them on lead generation, coaching them on the process of taking them from raw prospect to or a lead to client, the client retention and communication process. But expand on that a little bit more, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just what you said, helping them follow through with the lead flow and the conversions to making sure that the lead is turning into a good prospect, or anyways, and then just helping them with the different ideas, obviously with different marketing. It shifts with the wind, exactly like now what we're in with the COVID situation. Obviously, the marketing is completely shifted, but then every time that the opportunities shift, there's new opportunities that open up. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Well, good. Yeah. And what we wanted to do is explain a little bit more about what our process is for working with our clients and the people we've worked with. I mean, I mentioned one a minute ago. We had one that we created more lead flow for him in a month than he had in the previous 2.5 years. And where our process, where we always tend to start is pricing combined with the lead conversion process from lead to new client, and then the onboarding process. And then we go to work on the marketing. And this is an ongoing process. And, as I pay attention to, the what I not too charitably refer to as the bozo explosion of consultants, because in every niche, and certainly with whether it's life insurance, financial advisors, wealth managers, in this whole, spectrum of field, there's an explosion of people, most of whom don't really know the industry very well. They haven't been, rubber meets the road, sitting down face to face with prospects. A lot of them fit in the category of a one-hit wonder who's an internet marketing expert or a Facebook marketing expert, or maybe they have a cool sales pitch they want to teach people, but they really haven't been through all the different aspects of, like in my case, 37 years later, meeting face to face with thousands of clients and really going through that process. So, what our ongoing process is that we combine several elements. Is what we have seen is that doesn't work is somebody sends you a newsletter and they give you a couple cool ideas every month and you read it and ponder it and then don't do anything. Or you get a big box of materials, and nowadays, of course, that's, you get a password to a website and a bunch of videos. I see that a lot, or somebody sends you a book. But really what we have seen is none of those things work if you want to move into the top 5% or the top 1%. And the financial advisors and wealth managers that we work with tend to already be in the top of their industry. They tend to be in the top 10%, maybe 20% of the industry, but they're really looking at being top 1%ers or top 5%ers. What really is necessary for that is a combination of several things. One is coming together in a small group format so that you're working with other top performers. And, a lot of people that we work with are perhaps in Northwest Mutual, or they're a part of some other big corporate environment. But the folks that they're working with on a day-to-day basis are, what my friend Dan Kennedy calls marketing incest. Is everybody's kind of looking around and doing the same thing everybody else is doing, and most of them aren't doing very much to begin with. So they're not really getting a creative flow of new ideas. So what we're doing is bringing really top producers across various companies, across various RIAs, et cetera, and bringing them together to really share best practices of what's working in the field this week, not what worked 5 years ago, not what worked 10 years ago, not what worked 20 years ago. So that's one element. Expand on that, Greg. What would you add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's really important. One thing you said is that, these guys that are the marketing experts in Facebook or marketing experts in this, and a lot of times what we see is that these guys have gotten one thing to work for a little while. they've gotten one thing to work for a little while, and a lot of times it's not based on really solid marketing principles. So they've got 10 examples of people that have had some results, and that's not really that hard to do. What we're trying to do is make sure that all the stuff that you do is based on good solid principles, so that you've got enough marketing things happening so you get a good solid set of new clients on a regular basis, so that you can get more business on a regular basis. And not just that, but also you maintain those clients over a long period of time, because that's really important. And also get their family members, especially for some of our advisor clients that have older, higher dollar clients. Those clients want to develop a legacy and be able to get leave their money for their kids, and have those kids be clients of theirs, and have their kids, grandkids be clients of theirs, so that they continue to have that wealth invested properly. It's in the best interest of the clients, but it's also best for the advisor. So when you coming back full circle to what you said before, we see so much in the industry that there's people spouting one or two or three marketing ideas, and the whatever business that we're helping with, because we do work with multiple businesses, they go after that one, shiny object that's the marketing idea, and it almost never really works. Or even if it works for a little while, it doesn't work long term. So when we talk to a lot of advisors, then we end up having the conversation, well, I did this for a while, but it's not working anymore. And that's what we're going to help you with, is developing a good strategy that works, and then continue to help you evolve it, because we're working with so many people and we're helping them evaluate these in a proper way, so that if one thing isn't working, we can bring in other things to help their marketing, or to make sure their marketing is working well all the time.
I think that's where the magic is as well too. I mean, it's obviously compounding that lead funnel or that pipeline, as you had said, is one of the big eye openers for all of our guys.
You bet, you bet. And again, what almost everyone that we talk to coming in the door, they say to us, if I just had more new clients a month, 5 more clients a month, everything else is fine, right? And the reality is, when you start looking at the numbers, and you would think in this business, people would be numbers people enough to really delve and know the numbers of their business, but that usually isn't true, right? Is they may be good at watching the stock market, but they're in evaluating mutual funds. They're not good at understanding their client retention, their client referral ratios. They're building that next generation, the kids and the grandkids and so forth. They really don't know what's underneath it going on in their business. And that's what one thing that we're experts at. We're experts at really keeping track of statistics, knowing lead to appointment to first meeting to creating a client, onboarding process, longevity, computing lifetime average client value, computing return on investments for marketing. So but the elements that we're putting together in this program that's made it so powerful is, one, teaching you marketing skills that, and again, there's all these certifications, and people can be a CFA or CFP, or have their Series 7 and all this different stuff. But I've yet to see any of these different certifications. And you're an expert in mutual funds, you're an expert in retirement planning. None of that stuff teaches you how to get a new client, how to keep a client, and how to maximize your income for a client. It's all technical skill set. And you're not alone. In every niche, it's true. You go to Harvard Law, you know how to argue the case, but you don't really know how to get a client, keep a client, and maximize value. Same is true in this niche. Is we're going to be teaching you on an ongoing basis live event marketing, how to be an author, how to be a personality, how to maximize social media, how to maximize Google, pay-per-click search, how to really develop. And most people in our niche say, almost all my clients come from referrals. But then when I ask them one simple question, well, what 5 referral systems do you have in place? They don't know what I mean by that, right? So we're showing you how to develop client appreciation events, showing you how to create pass-along tools for the clients, how to stay top of mind on a weekly basis with your clients. So if something comes up, they think of you. rather than you meet them once a quarter or meet them once a year. So it's teaching you all the different marketing tools, teaching you the processes to have a high conversion rate, showing you and pointing you in the right direction for all the different marketing pieces, whether it's online, offline, direct mail, live meetings, social media, Google, etc. And then really developing that practice to its maximum. Whether it's you want to sell it one day, you want to pass it along to your kids, or you just want to get it where it's not consuming as much of your life and is making the income that you're looking for. Mindy, what would you add to that?
I think one of the big things that you mentioned is being there for the life cycle and developing that out for the customer. And I think that's a really key thing, because having a set of outside eyes that can really kind of look over your shoulder and help coach you and help you see those gaps that you may be missing is such a critical piece to really maintaining the life cycle of the customer, and it becoming something where the Gen 1s that you have now, they're bringing in their kids, they're bringing in their grandkids and doing those referrals as just part of the organic relationship that you develop with them.
To relay a conversation I had just a couple weeks ago with an advisor in La Jolla, California, is this guy's a little unusual because he's a marketing junkie, and he's absorbed and learned and paid attention to and signed up for courses. And the reality is he's still not adding a consistent number of new clients every month because he's a junkie out tracing this and doesn't have somebody to slap him and say, let's do this, and then let's do this, and then let's do this. And yeah, that's really cool. Next year, let's do this, then let's do this, and then let's do this. And it's a common syndrome. I mean, the primary syndrome we find in this industry is people just aren't doing enough stuff. They're relying on their current client base to send them people, and occasionally they remember to ask them for a referral. Maybe they've got one thing that's working. There's a lot of people who are doing pretty good with lunch meetings and dinner meetings, and COVID hits, and then they're dead in the water. And we show you how to adapt that stuff quickly. You can shift from your meeting them live to your meeting them on a webinar or a Zoom meeting, like what we're doing here, easily and quickly. But again, it's that bringing the top people together, showing you what's working exactly in today's market, regardless of ups and downs and one thing or another. And then it's having somebody looking over your shoulder, kicking you in the ass, saying, well, I know you have a 50-point to-do list, but let's start with these 3. And let's forget about all of that stuff and let's focus on this number 1. And that's what the biggest feedback I hear a lot of times is, they say, well, it's great that you taught me all this stuff, but the best thing you did is help me prioritize and do the one thing immediately that was going to immediately improve my income. That Greg, you probably appreciated that Elon Musk quote that I pulled up recently. You got to separate the signal from the noise, and ignore the noise and focus on the thing that makes a difference. I thought that was a great, simple but powerful way of looking at it. Most people get so involved in, I got to be a social media presence, or I got to do this, I got to do this, I've got to send another email, that they don't know, if I do this, then I do this, then I do this, I'm going to double my assets under management, or I'm going to double my flow of new clients. Or more often is, instead of getting clients at this level, I'm going to get clients at this level. Right? That's a big difference.
Quadruple. Yeah, and some of those things can quadruple what you just said, can quadruple your personal income and make your lifestyle better, so you don't have to work as hard. What happens, we see a lot of people kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off because they're chasing individually chasing shiny objects. Like, I've got to do stuff, Facebook's a big thing, right? So I've got to do this Facebook stuff, but they don't know what kind of Facebook things to do. So they end up wasting a lot of time and or money on things that aren't useful. It's just an epidemic, really. And I would say one thing you said is that that people are not doing enough stuff. And I think I don't really blame, we have not really found lazy advisors, the people that talk to us usually work really, really hard. And probably nobody listening to this, this video or watching this video, or you wouldn't be watching the video if you were lazy. We're not really experiencing people being lazy. What we experience is that the peers around you, and I would say, is it 90%, or maybe it's higher, maybe it's a little bit
Higher.
probably higher, are not doing much. So therefore, the people around you, you don't have really good examples of all the things we're talking about, what to do, and then how to do things correctly so that you don't waste a lot of time. You know, we see a lot of people just churning away at emailing and they don't get any results from it, or churning away at Facebook things and not getting results from it. And so there ends up being a lot of wasted time and frustration and without getting results. And that's not what we want for you. We want you to make a good use of your time and efforts and money and resources so that you get lots of results, get lots of high quality results, and then you end up having a good lifestyle. And then you can make decisions about the way you want your business to be, that it's going to make you the income you want. And it, at some point you want to exit and retire yourself. How's that going to be? So, that's really what our goal is for you.
Yeah. And again, to summarize, is with a new client, we tend to start with maximizing client value, strong conversion rates from lead to new client, and then generating a open from, our clients have phrased drinking from a fire hose of getting, more new traffic than you've ever had before. But first, making sure that you can handle the flow without killing yourself or without developing, adding an awful lot of new staff. Is an awful lot of it is automated follow-up. A lot of it is sorting out quality from low quality prospects. And kind of like I've got the stock exchange behind me here, but the same visual is building a Parthenon where you have 10 or 15 different things going on every month. Some of them automated, some of them farmed out, some of them that you're doing yourself, that's generating referral systems, online social media marketing, online Google and search marketing, direct mail follow-up to your prospects and clients, et cetera, developing PR campaigns. We've had clients who are on, the Wall Street Journal reports and all kinds of media appearances, becoming an expert within a given niche. We've created one of our clients in like the guy from, top level martial arts schools as a weird example. So it's helping you create that Parthenon where you develop more flow than you've ever had. But before that, making sure that you're set to do it on an ongoing basis. It's having somebody to teach you all the stuff that nobody taught you when you're getting your certifications and your degrees and all that stuff. It's showing you how to take your to-do list and cut it down from 50 to the top 3 to focus on. And then it's bringing you into an audience of the top people in the industry and sharing best practices. And more importantly, knowing that ideas are working right now with today's clientele, with today's market, with what's going on today, rather than it's a good idea from 10 years ago that's lost its steam. Or it's something that more often, among the marketing bozos, is they had a great idea that seemed like a good idea, but they've never been where rubber meets the road, interacting daily with clients, interacting daily with prospects. And, it seemed like a good idea, but they really don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. I'll give each of you the last word, and then we'll finish up for now.
I think you wrapped it up really well. I mean, I think that's anybody on this call, definitely, we'd love to talk to you, because we'd love to see where you're at and see what the next steps are. Because, the next steps we talked about a million things, it seems like, but the next steps are usually the 1 or 2 things that are going to give you big results. And then we attack the next things, and then we attack the next things.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you had beat me to it. And I don't know if you coined it, but drinking from a fire hose. So that's the number one problem that I've noticed with all of our newer members, is that that's something that they've never experienced, which actually brings to light some other areas that we can really help develop and make the process a lot smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. Mandy?
Yeah, I think a lot of you probably got into being financial advisors because you wanted to help people do well and live the lifestyle they want, and you want that for yourself. And that's not what they taught you how to do in school. And so that's where really we're here to help you figure that out, so that you can help others the way you want to and have what you need in your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the top people that I read everybody else's stuff, and there are some very sharp people, most of them who don't know anything about marketing. But as what happens in this business, which happens in almost all other businesses, is people get so hung up in their technical expertise that they don't learn marketing, client service, sales, and leadership. And so they end up studying more in their technical specialty, thinking that that's somehow, adding a certification, adding more alphabet soup behind their name and so forth, thinking that that's going to help grow their business and grow their career. Those things are mostly irrelevant. What is relevant is maintaining that client communication and developing that lead flow. Well, on that note, I'll let you have a great day, and we'll follow up soon, hopefully.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.